What's up YouTube? My name is Ben Sparks and I'm starting this YouTube channel, Spark Your Life. So I decided to call it that because one, my last name is Sparks, and two, because I feel like this is the point in time where I'm really sparking my life. So this year is 2020 and we're in March now, and I've seen a lot of things and I've heard a lot of people say if you write down your goals, you'll achieve them faster. So I decided to do a step-by-step 5-year, 10-year, and lifetime goals I'd like to meet. The 5-year, one of them in the 5 years was start a YouTube channel, and 3 months later, this is me making my first YouTube channel. So I did buy some camera equipment, and this is the very first video I'm making. So I'd like to create this channel and build it kind of around self-development, goals in life, and finances, and real estate, and investing, and take it towards that path. And depending on how it branches out, maybe I'll be able to develop other channels that show some of my interests, and hopefully you guys can relate. So I've got right here, I've got my goals that I've listed out, and for 5 years, I just put a couple of goals down for 5 years. I wanted to become a superintendent. I'm in the construction field. I'm working for one of the top, if not the top, construction company based out of Michigan, Detroit. I wanted to own my first rental/lease property. I wanted to finish remodeling my house. I just bought my house in November over a year ago, and I've been remodeling it ever since. And last November, so about 6 months ago, I was finally able to start living in it with my girlfriend and our son. And the last one I had for the 5-year start was to start a YouTube channel. So I'm going to go deeper into each of those goals. For my 10-year, I wanted to become a developer, so I really wanted to get into real estate, really wanted to get into flipping houses, renting, leasing, and moving forward in that. I wanted to start a charity. The environment around us and our earth, it means a lot to me, and I have a huge interest in alternative energy, especially with my background in construction, and it's just a big interest of mine. So if I could start a charity that'll help the world that we live in and move forward into something with the environment, it would be really cool if I could start some kind of charity that helped people put their homes into more sustainability, as in green living, green homes, net zero, and move on from there. Another goal I had was to complete an Ironman. I just got a gym membership. I've been on and off working out. I'm sure you guys can relate for my entire life. I was a certified yogi, which is a certified yoga instructor. I took a course and I became a certified yoga instructor 5 years ago, and probably 2 years ago I stopped doing yoga just because interest fell in other areas, and I'd love to go back, but we'll see where that goes. So I'd like to complete an Ironman. That's a huge accomplishment for a lot of people, and I'd really like to train and be more athletic. I'm not the best in shape, I'm not the healthiest guy, I'm not the healthiest living person out there, but I'd really like to do my best to do my part for myself and increase my health to live longer and have a better, healthier, lucrative life. So lifetime goals I had were I'd like to visit 100 countries. I think that's a great goal. I love to travel. I've been to a couple of different places. I haven't been all over the world, but I've been to Germany, Alaska, and obviously various states in the US. I'll probably make a video on some of the trips that I have made, some of my experience that I have had, and definitely the traveling that I'm going to do in the future. I'll definitely bring you guys along and try to record as much of that as I can. I'd also like to write a book. Now, I thought about this a lot when I started with this YouTube channel, and I thought, I hate reading, and probably 3 pages into any book, I'm falling asleep, and I figured, depending on how this YouTube channel goes, and if you guys are interested, maybe instead of writing a book, maybe I'll do some sort of a YouTube channel per chapter scenario on writing a book. And I'd like to call it The Things You Don't Learn in School. And religion, law, and money are the 3 things that you don't learn in school. And a few years ago, I realized that they don't teach you anything about anything for money, religion, or law. basically say you should be a good, outstanding citizen and just be kind and good. That's pretty much it. They don't teach you law. They don't teach you, your parents teach you right from wrong, but nobody tells you the law and the legalities of it. Nobody in school teaches you anything about money. The only finance education that I had was when I was in middle school. They taught you how to write a check, and people don't even write checks anymore. So that was kind of like a useless thing to learn for me. And it's not that really hard to do. You can learn it in 2 minutes how to write a check. So, and then the other is religion. I'm Christian. I don't go to church. I don't really practice my religion. I do read out of the Bible every now and then. I try to read at least once a week, one chapter or section out of the Bible, because it's something different, and it's something I do have a passion about, because my grandmother was a Christian, and she was a wholehearted Christian, and she loved everything about God, and that's how she lived her life. So it does have an interest for me. I don't know how far deep I'll get into that, but we'll see how this channel goes and see how far you guys want to go with me. So a little bit about myself. I think I'm going to call this video the internship, or the interview, something along those lines. I'd like to tell you guys a little bit about myself and where I kind of plan on going with this channel, and maybe even other channels depending on how it expands. I'd really like to post 3 or 4 videos a month. I'm going to try to hit for you guys every Thursday. I'll try to post a new video, whether it be on this channel or one of other channels that I'll try to create. Not even really sure what that means quite yet, because the only thing I know about YouTube is if you need to know how to do something, you just look it up. So I'm going to do my best, and anything you guys can do to teach me in the comment section, please subscribe. Hit the like button if you like these videos. If you don't, write a comment, tell me why, and maybe I can help you, or maybe I can help myself help you create better videos for you. So a little bit about me. So I went to high school. I was terrible in school. The only reason I passed is because, just like every other high school and middle school, they just pass you along. I didn't get the best grades, C's and B's. They were all right. I basically went home, did no homework, and went to school, and they gave me a B. I was terrible at taking tests. I hated every second of it. I was so happy to get out. I did play sports in high school, and I started working when I was 16. So when I was 16, I got a job as a busboy at a local restaurant here. And my buddy got me the job. I started working there, and on my very first day, my dad told me something I'll never forget, and that's, if you make the company money, you'll make money. So that's what I did. I did whatever I could to make that restaurant money. And I know this doesn't always happen, but I had a really, really good boss, and I hope he sees this one day, because I really appreciate everything that boss did for me. He really rewarded the people that worked their butt off at the job, and he really helped them develop in that career if they so choose to. So within 9 months, I did every single job within the restaurant field, and then I became a kitchen manager, and I kind of stopped there because I didn't really want to go any further. But I was making more money as an employee there than any other employee in Michigan in that restaurant, and it's a very large restaurant chain. So I did really good. I worked really hard at it, and I kind of capped out. So I wanted more. I wanted to do more. I was going to college part-time. My dad wanted me to get into the medical field because he was in construction, and he was one of the physical labor guys that he hurt every day. Physical labor, hard physical labor, every single day of his life it gets to you, and it does catch up with you, and he just hurts. He's not crippled, he's not handicapped, he's a fully functional human being, but he just hurts every day, and he didn't want that for me, so he told me to go into the medical field. Well, I went into the medical field, and I started going for radiology technology, and I started working at a couple of different hospitals, trying to test it out, and I hated every second of it. And I'm glad I did it, because I have such a huge respect for anybody in the medical field, because it really does take a special person. It takes a special heart and a special brain that it takes to care for other people, and I just couldn't emotionally take care of somebody in a hospital. It was too downbringing for me. It was too sad. It was too hard mentally for me to be around sick people who were dying or on their deathbed or just so sick and they felt so bad. I'm generally a really happy person. I'm really outgoing. I like to smile at people all day long, and it just makes my day when people smile back at me. So it was really hard for me to take that job, and it mentally and and emotionally took a toll on me. So during this time of like almost getting my associate's degree in radiology technology, my uncle gave me a call and he said, come out to Alaska with me. He owns a company based out of Montana, and a lot of that's in Alaska. And he's like, come work. And he was in construction. He did government contracts. And he's like, come work for me. I'll pay you good money. And I just need somebody to boss around and do whatever needs to be done. And he wanted me to come out and try to learn construction. So while I was out there, I did 3 summers there, while working at the restaurant, going to school. And I did my summers in Alaska. And it was a lot of fun. I got to see a lot. I flew everywhere. Really, it was more of a vacation for me than work. There was a lot of hard work that we did, but it was so exciting. I met the weirdest people and strangest people, and I'll get into that if I create like a vacation channel. I'll talk more about that. But I did find out that a university in Detroit came out with this degree. It's a construction management degree, so you can get your bachelor's in construction management. So I started that. 2 weeks later, they had a job fair for engineering students, and I wasn't really an engineer, but it was within the same curriculum, so I'm like, whatever, I'll go. So I just polished up a resume, I threw on a nice shirt, and I went. So I went, and I literally went from table to table to table. Hey, how are you? My name's Ben. What do you do? And I got to this one of the last tables I went to, there was nobody there, and there was nobody in like line to talk to the recruiter. And I walked up and said, hey, my name's Ben, and I'm like, would you like to know something about me? And I just started talking about my resume. 45 minutes later, he told me he'll call me in a week, which didn't really mean anything to me because 4 other companies said that to me too, out of the 50 that were there, and I never heard from them. But lo and behold, the next day that company called me, and it was one of the #1 construction companies that have been around for 100 years in Michigan. And he called me and he wanted me to start an internship in May. So that May I did join the internship, and I loved it. And it was construction management, so it's a GC, which is a general contractor. So there's not really physical labor to it. You do need a degree to do it. And I worked as an intern, and I went to school full time. So I was working 40 hours a week, and at 4 o'clock when the day ended, I went down to school and I took a night class. And I would take 7 to 8 classes a semester for 2 years because I was just trying to drill it out. So I'm very impatient, and I like to move fast, and I like to do a lot of things, a lot of different things, and there's never enough on my plate, and I'm incredibly impatient, so I wanted to just jam it out and get it done. So I did it. I was super happy. After 2 years of like 8 classes a semester, including the summers, there was one summer I took 34 credits, which a lot of you might even say that's impossible, you can't do. But I was going to a community college and the university, so I kind of 50-50'd it, took a bunch of online classes, and they were pretty straightforward, not that hard classes. They didn't really have a lot of homework. I basically had to show up, read a chapter, and do an assignment, and that was it. So I was worn out, I was beat. But thankfully after that, the company I was with did hire me, and I'm still currently working for them full-time, and they gave me a new opportunity as a project engineer to work on a new building, a design-build building, which is basically from the ground up. So I was super excited. I am super excited. We're actually waiting on permits right now to start the job, and I'm ready to do that. On the side, I'm into real estate myself. My dad is very knowledgeable in building homes. I'm very knowledgeable in building homes. We can remodel, we can build a brand new home. So we decided to go in together and look for a house that we could either flip or rent out. I wanted to rent because I've got a long life ahead of me, and renting can really build that wealth over time. But flipping is more faster money, so you can flip a house within 3 to 6 to 12 months and make money that way. So he was kind of more into that, but we found a happy medium and we started looking for houses. So hopefully we'll get a house pretty soon, and I'll be able to do some time lapses, and I'll be able to talk about the progression of if it's a flip, we'll go through that, and if it's a rental property or a leasing option that I'm going to try, and I could talk about, I'll create a video and talk more about that. We'll go through that, and I'll try to record as much as I can with you guys. my old man, he's not really too into the video recording of it. So hopefully if it turns out into something and you guys really appreciate the videos and you love watching and you subscribe and this turns into a really good channel, then maybe we can kind of get my dad in on it too, because he's a really funny guy. He's an awesome guy. He's a super, I can't even describe my father for you, because I literally couldn't ask for a better dad. I look up to him with every option that comes my way. He's the nicest guy. If you don't know him, he'll be your best friend within an hour. I look up to him as much as I can. I can't even come up with words with how much I love my dad, and it's super great, and we do have a really good relationship. So I'm excited to talk about more about him and our experience with flipping houses or real estate. I don't know how much involved I'll get with him or if I'll go off on my own. So I guess you guys can just come in on the journey with me anyway. So I really hope you guys watch this video, like it, and subscribe, and hit the like button if you do like it. If not, make a comment, tell me why you don't like it so I can learn. Like I said, this is the very first recording of the very first video of the very first YouTube channel I've ever done. So let me know what you think. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching Spark Your Life. My name's Ben Sparks, and I'll see you next time.